What up, though? Juggalos and juggalettes, welcome to the most important day in Juggalo history. There's been a lot of monumental events and gatherings and moments and all that shit, but none of it can hold a candle to what we are all doing right now. Can I get a whoop whoop that you can hear in the White House? Whoop whoop! Today, as you know, this is the Juggalo March. We've got incredible speakers from in and around the Juggalo world. They're going to drop knowledge. They're going to share their testimonials about their experiences, what has happened to them, and that's why we are here today, to change this bullshit classification, to end profiling of Juggalos, and to give us back our fucking civil rights and our First Amendment rights. Whoop whoop! Now, with that said, I'd like to make a formal speech. I'm just going to hold this shit. Juggalos, it's an honor to be here today with my family. My name is Kevin Gill, and I fucking love you. Normally, when we get together, it's to celebrate our individuality, to listen to music that's magic, pure and clean. You can feel it and hear it, but it can't be seen. This music has drawn together people of all races, genders, and creeds from all over the world. And the fact that other people don't understand it never really mattered to us, because none of us gives a single fuck what other people think about us. And as you know, this is the key to the ultimate freedom and happiness in life. Some people live their entire life without feeling free or happy, and we found peace, community, acceptance, self-confidence, camaraderie in the musical output and creative visions of two childhood friends from humble beginnings who harnessed the power of their own creativity and dreams, and in spite of all the odds that life put in front of them, they rose from nothing to become something very, very special. Not to everyone, but to us exclusively. And that's what makes it even more fresh. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope created Insane Clown Posse, and thus the soundtrack to our lives. To this soundtrack of wicked shit, aka ruthless hip-hop, which features both colorful characters and language. You fucked up! 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 Colorful characters and language with powerful examples of right and wrong, and it's all multiplied by karma and intermingled with comedy, horror, and a lot more. We created an incredible community of fans, friends, ninjas, homies, and family. This is the live section right here. We made the name Juggalo to represent all of us, men, women, black, white, brown, yellow, fat as fuck, skinny as a broomstick, gay, straight, bi, trans, young, old and folded and loopy, rich, poor, it doesn't fucking matter. We're different. We're not dangerous. The only reason we're even in this position today is because, just like with Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy, the government has always feared when people come together for reasons they can't comprehend. True fucking story. And think about this, right? Flashback a bunch of decades. Comic books were put on trial for causing everything from homosexuality to juvenile delinquency. And this wasn't some, like, all-exclusively horror comics and shit. I'm talking Wonder Woman and Batman and shit like that was on trial. and attempts to censor music and pressure artists from rock and roll, R&B, heavy metal, NWA, all the way to 2 Live Crew has gone on for fucking decades. But in the end, the First Amendment ultimately protected the creative expression of the artist and the right of the fans to hear it and enjoy it free of legal prosecution and all related staleness, because music is not a crime. But now, Juggalos, today we've reached an unprecedented time in American history. Today is mega fucking important. The Juggalo March is like the Boston Tea Party for fans of music, free speech, creativity, and expression. Because when the FBI released a report based on shockingly little facts or precedent, they listed Juggalos as a hybrid gang, and the symbols, artwork, and style that are part of our culture are listed as signs of criminals and criminal activity. As equals alongside highly dangerous and elaborate international criminal organizations like the Crips, the Bloods, and MS-13. They then took this bullshit report and circulated it to every law enforcement organization in these United States. And this report helped increase budgets locally and nationally with the creation, funding, and additional training of gang task forces to target Juggalos. They did. They fucked up. 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 And, you know, as the years have gone by, the effects of this gang report have become very apparent and very, very shocking. It's true, they are mad. They're just mad that they don't get no pussy. I agree with that sign. We're now living with a situation where the brave men and women of the military are being discharged due to having a Juggalo tattoo. Other brave people who want to serve their country are not allowed to join the armed forces because they have a Juggalo tattoo. Just wearing the merchandise of your favorite band or having a sticker on your car is now justifiable cause to stop you, to search you. And guess what? If this illegal search finds nothing, no problem. They'll just put you on the fucking gang list for the next time they pull you over. And when they do eventually find something to arrest you for or create a reason to arrest you, if they don't kill you, you will get stricter sentencing because you are now classified as a gang member. We have Juggalos losing custody of their children due to evidence being presented in court that they listen to Insane Clown Posse. We have Child Protective Services seeing a poster in someone's home or a CD on a fucking coffee table, and it leads to them losing custody. Their children are taken away by the state because now they're a gang member somehow. It's fucked up. Look around you, everyone here in the world watching. There are hardworking Juggalos in every trade and industry. It's a true fucking story. From the government to law enforcement, doctors, lawyers, chefs, teachers, artists, nurses, the retail game, it goes on and on. And these people are losing their fucking jobs when their company finds out the music that they really fucking enjoy. What the fuck? It's not because of their job performance. It's not because of any work-related issue. It can be as simple as clicking like on Facebook on the Insane Clown Posse page. What the fuck is this? What part of the game Our hope today, Juggalos, is that by showing the absurdity of this situation to the world, that we can get the FBI to update this report and to remove Juggalos from this insane gang classification. Today you will meet many faces from the Juggalo world and community, and they have unique stories to share with you about their experiences. The whole fucking world is watching, but we need your help to listen. We need your help because we, the people, cannot allow the trampling of civil rights to occur. Because if it happens to us, it can happen to you. If we allow this to stand, we're allowing a Trojan horse into our justice system. They can use this precedent to set their sights on electronic dance music and DJ culture, jam bands, underground metal, punk, and hardcore. NSYNC, Justin Bieber fans, everybody could be next. If Juggalos are a gang, then the Grateful Dead are the triple OGs of this shit. I have a dream, motherfuckers. I have a motherfucking dream that the unjust classification and profiling of Juggalos will stop. And with the support of everyone who can hear my voice right now, we can make that shit happen. Thank you, family. So much flavor. We got live music. Give it up for my homie DJ motherfucking Carlito, the Southwest superstar, all the way from the mean streets of Southwest Detroit, here to spin some music today. And right about now, we're gonna kick off the day of speakers, following my little warm-up set for y'all. P.S. I love you once again. Just putting it out there. What we're going to do right now is we got Juggalo testimonials. We got testimonials from Juggalos themselves. And the first Juggalo I want to bring up here, all the way from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Please give a warm family welcome to Crystal Guerrero as she shares her story.
I am not a gang member in any way. I have never been convicted of a crime. I do not have a speeding ticket. I have never failed a drug test. My 2 children were taken from me, physical custody, because I showed up to one concert. One concert was all it took for my character to be smeared in court and me to lose custody. We are a law enforcement family. I spend 80 hours a week sacrificing for your rights. My man never comes home. He misses birthdays, holidays, date nights,
freak nights,
drinking nights, whatever. I go to every event alone. Family events we often cancel because he is in uniform, out on the streets, taking care of you citizens. When he was going through the academy, they made it very clear that if anybody listened to ICP or were involved in the Juggalo community, that they would lose their jobs. They were not welcome. They specifically asked Are there any juggalos present? Right? And he just wants to serve and protect all y'all. That's all he wants to do is help make a difference. Right? So I want to know, how do I have a clean record? How do I sit my children down to dinner and pray for our meal? How do we celebrate Christmas like every other American? How did I grow up in a Christian household and my presence at one concert was all it took? And now I see my children 2 times a week for 6 hours. That's it.
That's fucked up.
I can't explain to them why they don't get to stay. When they ask me, Mommy, Mommy, I just want to stay here. We love you guys to death. We love them. They're well taken care of. I've never had CYFD called on me. We have a nice house, a good income. I'm able to stay at home with them, but they would rather have somebody else raise my children than go to daycare every day, than be with their own mother because of my character.
Because you went to a concert.
One concert.
What country is this?
I thought this was America. America. So, from my family to everybody else, I'm super glad y'all showed up to support our freedom of speech, our freedom to assemble, and our freedom to unite, our freedom as Americans to believe in whatever we want to believe in. That doesn't make us a gang.
It definitely doesn't make us a gang.
It makes us a family.
Family! 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 Give it up for this brave juggalette! Thank you so much, Crystal. Give it up for our homie Crystal from Albuquerque. It takes a lot of heart to come up here and speak. To the family, speaking is easy, but to the world, speaking is harder. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and we hope today is going to change some of that shit you're experiencing. Juggalo's next up from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Show some love for Ashley Vasquez.
I'm short. Look at this. They had to give us a crate over here for short people. Okay. Joseph? Okay. Woo-woo. My best friend, brother in arms, battle buddy, and homie Joseph Kelly is a former specialist in the United States Army. I'm here today because of an elaborate description of how he felt about the gang label sent to Rachel Paul. Thank you, Rachel. And I quote, "I took an oath to defend the Constitution. When the government steps on the document that I swore to defend and falsely labels my ninjas as a so-called gang, I feel obligated to say something."
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Kelly, for your honesty and bravery in serving in the 82nd Airborne Division. People are unaware of the mass population of the veterans. Can I hear a whoop whoop from the veterans? People are unaware.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
People are unaware of the infringements of the constitutional rights that we are getting today. 6 out of the 13 years that I've been listening to Psychopathic, I served in the United States Air Force. Our wicked family is the reason I made it through basic military training. Upon completion, I was determined and received my first Hatchet Man tattoo.
Hell yeah.
Since the FBI deems anything psychopathic related to be affiliated as loosely organized hybrid gang activity, I've been harassed and ridiculed by fellow airmen.
That's outrageous. You guys are all on the same team.
Exactly. I was infuriated and shocked by how judgmental my brother became. After communicating with the chain of command, I was allowed to keep my tattoo. But I was unable to actively participate in gang activity.
So what does that mean? You can't listen to music, hang out with your friends, or use the internet?
I couldn't go to the concerts. I couldn't go to gatherings. I couldn't do any. I couldn't wear Hatchetman. I couldn't do any of that. I couldn't wear Hatchetman on base.
That's outrageous. What you can do in your personal time?
My personal time, I stayed in my house off base. I stayed in my house off base and listened to Psychopathic as a closet juggalette.
Damn.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up for real.
So, to this day, I have not received any more tattoos because I want to re-enlist into the military. I cannot get any more tattoos because it's considered a gang label, and every single branch has regulations that you cannot have these tattoos.
And this is just one of the effects of this gang report. This gang report circulates, and then it circulates, and other government offices act on it. It's the cornerstone of a whole house of bullshit.
So, my tattoo, it symbolizes to me of family, love, and strength.
Family, 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 family.
I won't lie, Psychopathic will be in my life for the rest of my life, whether I'm serving or not.
Here comes the tattoo. Take a look at that, Vice. Zoom in on that shit, cameraman.
I wouldn't have the support and the strength to battle my PTSD without you guys. And this is a true fact. That person right there, Kelly, has helped me through a lot, and I've helped him. And that's what Juggalos do. We help each other. My deep honor and gratification towards the military will be unchanged. But we are offended by this unconstitutional degradation of the label that the FBI has developed towards Juggalos, Psychopathic Records, the Hatchet Man, and Insane Clown Posse. I'm standing here before you to help reinstate our rights of freedom of speech and expression and improve any veteran's pursuit of happiness, whether it is to re-enlist or help other Juggalos to enlist, if they so choose to.
Yes. Thank you.
So, this evening, we're actually in this group, it's called GI Juggalos. We are actually going to go and visit Arlington to support the fallen soldiers that we've come to know and appreciate. And I would really love it if everybody else would come and support that. So, just check out GI Juggalos on Facebook. It's a group. And just add yourself on there, and you guys can come with us, and we'll go and pray and whatever we got to do just to show a positive cause.
Amen. Amen.
And we are not gang members. We're practicing our rights as Americans the way we only know how, as Juggalos. Whoop, whoop. Thank you.
Give it up, Juggalos, for Laura King. That's what's up. Oh, my bad. Give it up for Ashley Vasquez, all the way from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. A brave member of our military, being restricted. Next up to share a Juggalo testimonial, this time from Fredericksburg, Virginia, please give a warm Juggalo welcome to Laura King.
Don't worry, I'm not going to rap, y'all. Okay. My name is Laura. I'm a singer, a songwriter, and a student, a sister, an aunt, and a daughter. I'm also a delinquent, and according to the Justice Department, a certified gang member. I'm many things, far from perfect, and a fuck up for sure. But I'm a good person, and I'll be the first to admit that I've made plenty of mistakes. But being in a gang isn't one of them because I'm not a gang member. I'm a juggalo. I found ICP at a very dark time in my life. I was 17 or 18 years old and totally lost. I kept trying to fit in with societal norms, thinking that if I could just be the person everyone wanted me to be, then I'd be accepted and normal and happy. Yeah, fuck that shit. But the vanilla life I was working so hard to protect wasn't working out for me, and the peers I wanted so badly to impress didn't give a shit about me. And ultimately, some terrible things happened, and I was left reeling from some intense trauma that chewed me up and spit me out in a manically depressed state. I was extremely suicidal, and at one point I even made an attempt on my own life that left me in a coma on a ventilator for about a month, and also severely damaged my memory. But then one day, a few months after my suicide attempt, something changed. An acquaintance had left a CD in my car, some weird shit with a bunch of clowns on it. But I was bored of listening to 50 Cent on repeat, so I figured I'd give it a shot. The music was unlike anything I'd ever heard before. It was dark, aggressive, violent, and funny, but something in this strange carnival music spoke to me. Too quiet? Alright, my bad. My bad. Lost my spot. Alright. It was as if all of the pain and rage and inner darkness was playing back to me through the speakers of my car. I played that CD until it no longer worked, each time feeling a little more relief. I stopped cutting, previously my favorite way of dealing with everything. And the music was it was therapy to me. I put all the wannabe cool poser bullshit away, and for the first time in my life, I was able to just be myself. And 2 years later, in 2006, I got one of my first tattoos, which was a hatchet man on the back of my neck, in honor of the music that quite literally saved my life. Fast forward a few years to 2015, I'd just been released from county jail and begun my probation. The previous year, I'd been arrested for a DWI. I wasn't drinking, but at the time I was being prescribed high levels of anti-anxiety medications. And there was no alcohol in my system, but I had no business behind that wheel, and I'm extremely grateful that no one was hurt because of my stupidity. Actually, I feel like in that situation, the Justice Department kind of did me a favor because I haven't touched any of those things in over 2 years now. The first several months of my probation went as expected for someone with my charges. Monthly check-ins, random urine screens, and a typical standard set of probation conditions. Then everything changed. I showed up for my check-in, and upon giving the woman at the front desk my name, she told me that they'd been looking for me. At my last color code, they'd seen a gang tattoo on the back of my neck, and I had to sit down in that room and wait and not leave until someone from Gang Task Force came to talk to me. Finally, the woman in charge of Gang Task Force for the district came to retrieve me and bring me back to her office to talk. She asked me if I was in a gang, and I told her I was not. She then asked me if I was a juggalo. I told her that, yes, I'm a fan of ICP's music, and Juggalos are termed for their fans, and yes, I am one. But she asked if I was aware of the gang label, and the fact that my tattoos were gang-related, and I responded that I'd gotten that tattoo in 2006, 5 years before Juggalos were even labeled a gang, and the ICP had been trying to appeal the label. She said, yeah, well, they lost, and the fact that you didn't cover your tattoos and knew about the gang label is all the proof I need to prove that you are a gang member. It doesn't matter when you got it.
That's incredible. The crime of liking music, of finding peace through music, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. I sat in the office for probably an hour trying to explain to her that Juggalos aren't gang members, that we're just people. We're a ragtag group of misfits and outsiders who found camaraderie through the music and shared life experiences. I told her that I'd never been asked to commit a crime in order to be a juggalo, to hurt or rob anybody or commit acts of vandalism. The only thing I'd ever really been asked to do was maybe bring some canned food to a few events for food drives.
Well, that sounds suspicious.
None of that mattered, though. At the end of the meeting, I watched as my name was entered into an official database of official gang members, and I was given my new gang probation conditions. These new conditions included that I not be around any other juggalos, be in the vicinity of where they're known to associate, including concerts, own any paint brushes or merchandise with a Hatchet Man logo.
Paint brushes?
I was not allowed to be on any school grounds unless I was a student or parent of a student at that school. I could not get any new tattoos without approval from Gang Task Force. I had to sleep at my approved address every night. I had to acknowledge that a DOC task representative could enter my home or job without my permission at any point in time, whether I was there or not. To search for hatchet gear, I guess. I had to give them my Facebook information, as any picture displaying my Juggalo tattoos was an automatic violation, as was having anybody on my friends list with anything Juggalo related on their profile. A violation meant jail time of anywhere between 3 months and the rest of my suspended sentence, and that time would be served in solitary confinement, as gang members cannot be in a jail's general population. If I went to prison, then I would have to be held at a maximum security facility.
That seems reasonable somehow to no one.
She's like, well, if there's another Juggalo there, you'd probably hang out with them, right? I was like, well, yeah, you got me in a max security in fucking prison.
When was the last time you whooped?
I keep hearing that my story doesn't really matter, that it doesn't count because had I not been so stupid as to drive under the influence of something, then I wouldn't have been put in this position in the first place. And it might be true. I mean, I'm not here to dispute the validity of my charge. I know I did wrong. I have no problem paying my debt to society for the mistakes that I made. But something is wrong when the conditions of my probation are more severe than somebody who is not a Juggalo but is convicted of burglary, assault, or malicious wounding.
Cruel, unusual punishment!
There's something wrong with the fact that I will forever be listed as a gang member because of the music and the people that I love. Whether or not you like our music or our lifestyle, the fact that the gang label placed upon Juggalos is an unconstitutional violation of our First Amendment rights cannot be ignored. If the federal government can get away with doing this to us, and then they're granted the power to do this to other subsets of society as well. You don't have to be a Juggalo or listen to ICP to help us fight this injustice, but today we are all clowns.
Hell yeah!
This is like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Can I get a selfie with y'all real quick?
Thank you, Laura. That was fucking so powerful. Thank you for sharing that story with the world. Give it up for Laura King, man. And for all she's fucking been through. Coming up next, Juggalos, we got Jake Jones from Orlando, Florida. He's got a testimonial to motherfucking share and a dope-ass hairdo that matches his shirt.
Thank y'all. What's up, y'all? I'm Jake Jones, also go by Sidehawk Ninja, and I'm a Juggalo, not a gang member. We've been saying it for years, even in multiple songs by Juggalo artists, myself included. And what kind of gang sells music instead of drugs and guns? What kind of gang makes their living by throwing concerts and selling t-shirts and CDs? There are multiple helicopters circling, and 70 undercover cops supposedly at our last music festival, The Gathering, super great this year. And what did they find? No guns, no weapons, no fights. No prostitution, nothing gang-worthy. Among 7,000 people from every state in America, Florida, represent. That alone should seal the deal. But the headlines show a few dudes who got caught with a plant that's legal in 29 states, and pictures of the helicopters, and tried to show their hardest that it was a terrible place to be. Yet, it was the best 4 days of some of our lives with people who were full of life and love. Am I right? If I'm wrong, correct me.
But wait a minute, what about the guy who had fireworks?
I got family in Kentucky, and it's about 50 miles from the nearest town, and fireworks is how we have fun when you make your own fun. Not only should we not be on the list to begin with, I think the FBI needs to surprise us and show some integrity and announce to all the police stations in the country that they were simply wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong, as long as you admit it. And then having a Hatchet Man or Psychopathics merchandise say it doesn't make you an eligible target. What freedom is there when you can't be yourself because you want to wear a banned shirt without being harassed legally with physical violence, fines, heavier charges, and longer sentences for no reason besides liking a band? You know, how long before it's Avenged Sevenfold or Drake, you know? So it goes back to that old saying. It goes back to the old saying. First they came for juggalos and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a juggalo. Then they came for the metalheads, let's say. And I didn't speak out because I wasn't a metalhead, yada yada yada. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak up for me. Here we are, 2017, there was not one report of committing murder this year, not one school shooting or dead body tampering or a grandmother chopped into pieces. So what have we been doing with all that spare time? It turns out we spent all year going to work, hanging out with friends, listening to music, going to shows. Normal human things, who would have guessed? Society culturally crucifies juggalos. We're used to it. We don't need a safe space or a trophy. We already settle for literally minimal respect or acknowledgement the whole time. Not including the charities, right? Who knows about that? All I can do is ask, is have you considered the possibility that what you think we are is not what we are, and that without knowing enough about us, the mainstream view could be wrong? I mean, there's 35 going on 36 albums to my knowledge by simply just the Insane Clown Posse, not including the rest of their label. And people don't even know of one full album front to back because they haven't just done it yet. The typical rhetoric, juggalos are white trash, or I hate ICP, that we've all heard thousands of times in our life talking to people who were politely holding a conversation before it came up, is such a closed-minded way to live. Just know, you out there. We positively affect thousands of people each day, each one of us. We talk people out of suicide, feed whoever we can afford. We hold doors for anybody. We thank veterans for their service. I worked in retail for many years, and I thanked every veteran I could because, hey, look at me. I couldn't do this in some other country, so thank you. Some of us are veterans. Thank y'all. Anyways, we're normal people who walk the same streets. We get stuck in the same traffic, everyday Joes and Janes for the most part. There are even lawyers and business owners who are juggalos. The only difference is taste in music, and how could that be enough to justify that it's okay to hate somebody or look down on them as less than human, much less arrest them and put them in timeout in a cell? And those who don't listen to ICP only hear the cuss words and violence, and that's what they're looking for. On most songs, for going on 15 years, personally, I've heard the clear message of, let this be a warning. Don't be like the people in some of these songs. See where it gets them? Prison or hell, usually. Half the characters in the song make the world a chaotic, dark place, and the other half are the light bringers. They don't always tell you who's who, and there's sometimes gray areas within characters, but still, they're just songs. So be yourself, and don't ruin things for other people. Even if you think they deserve it, at least try to be smart and think twice about it. These are some of the messages I get from the music. Stand up for yourself. Be rebellious. Be yourself. Try to be smart about it and appreciate the simple things in life. That's what Miracle's about, not magnets. I mean, that's part of it, but it's the being mystified. Allowing yourself to simply be mystified. Woo woo! Juggalos understand how magnets work, and we also understand how cynics work. You show a man the universe and the beach and the sky, and he'll sit around complaining about the sun in his eyes. Show appreciation for your incarnation, they disregard without hesitation. 40 albums from one band alone, everything from heaven to the hell below. To save countless lives of outcasted children, they gave us something to believe in, and yet they can only quote one sentence and a relevant line about fucking magnets. Let me answer the question while I've got the chance. Juggalo isn't just a word for the fans. It's about clown love, not just face painting. If you haven't heard, we're not a fucking gang.
Woo, motherfucking woo! Give it up for Jake Jones! Sidehawk Ninja is definitely family. We got another Juggalo testimonial about to go down. This one comes to us from our friend Jessica Bonametti from Manassas, Virginia.
That's Manassas, Virginia. Manassas. Hello, guys, fellow juggalos, juggalettes. So, like you said, my name is Jessica Bonametti. I was a proud probation and parole officer for the Commonwealth of Virginia, stationed at District 29 in Fairfax. For about 4 years, I was with the state. Prior to that, with the Department of Juvenile Justice, and everything went fine there. Went to D29 for adult probation, and about a year into it, I was called into the chief's office and cut loose, pretty much right there on the spot. For, I guess an investigation was done on me. And I always knew that there was this hoopla, some phony gang label. I followed the research, I read the reports, I followed the court statements. I never really thought that it even existed, much less I personally could be tied to that. I don't really know too many people that listen to ICP. I mean, people ask me who my favorite band is, and they just drop their jaw and they're like, who? If they even know who it is, and if they do know them, they know that they're supposed to hate them. Well, what the fuck is that? They're supposed to hate ICP? Okay? So, March 11th, 2016, I was formally terminated from my employment. And I have said, yeah, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit!
So instead of going to work every day and helping people that have fallen on hard times, that are stuck in the criminal justice system, I sit home and do nothing at all, because no one will hire me. No one.
That's super fucked up.
Fuck the mainstream!
Because of the type of music I listen to. Because I like to bump the wicked shit all the way to the parking lot. So I'm not included in their club.
But yeah, fuck that club, because you're in our club. All of our club.
So what I'm so perplexed about is this has gone on over and over and over in our history. It's been with every small subculture. It persecuted all the hippies because there was this fear of being different, and that's pretty much all the label is. It's why get to know someone or their culture when it's so much quicker and easier just to not get to know them and be afraid of them, which creates hate. They don't hate us, they're afraid of us because they don't want to learn anything about us. But at the end of the day, we all got to live in this country together, and they can't just criminalize a group of people that listen to a type of music. If horrorcore is so scary, why isn't Stephen King in jail? Well, what about the guy that's made all the Saw movies? That's fucked up. Where's he at?
Yeah, Stephen King in his whole life has bodied more people than anybody, and he's free.
So, that's all I wanted to say. Jessica Bonametti, unemployed, ex-probation parole officer, non-gang member, non-gang affiliate, ICP fan for life, whoop whoop!
Whoop whoop! Give it up for all the brave juggalos that shared their stories today. That was the absolute shit. Keep it going, juggalos. We got some real deal family up in this bitch. Juggalos everywhere. How it should be. Whoop whoop! Right about now, Juggalos, we got a very special musical treat for all of y'all. We got more speeches, we got more audio flavor, but right now we're going to give you some audio flavor that has some motherfucking bass in it. All the way from the Louisville, Kentucky. Give it up for my OG homie and fucking weirdo. Show some Juggalo love for Buckshot!
What the fuck is up, Juggalo? Yeah? Can I get a whoop whoop? Hell yeah! This is a picture right here, seeing this fucking big ass monument with all these fucking Juggalos in front of it. Start me whenever. There we go. Come on! Let me see y'all move! Come on! Juggalo! Yeah! Come on!
I feel invincible the way I'm crushing through these walls. Make way for the juggernaut dead, I'm coming right through when I'm breaking y'all. Anybody step up, fall. Come get some, take your loss. Better call 911 till I'm crazy white rappers breaking balls. I'm still on the grind and I pay my dues. Now I'm the boss. I'll be damned if I made it this far to lose. Act the fool. Now tell me how much more that I got to prove. Leave egos bruised. I'm coming like a cannonball. Everybody move. Get out my way. Before I'm done, somebody gotta pay that. Come make my day. Somebody gotta catch them. The pain is major. Watch what you say. I'm making boondocks to the death of a hater. Buckshot don't play. Famous as words of the breath of a traitor. We pumping heads and knuckles. I can't help but to chuckle. You suckers funny style. Now jump in the pit with me. Let's rumble. I'm watching fakers buckle. Can't stop this paper hustle. And if I'm lying, when I go tell these bitches I'm a monkey's uncle. It's the
It's the run. Come on! Juggalo! Watch it fall. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I had to pick some kind of clean songs out for this place. And if I knew that Kevin Gill was gonna stand up there and talk the way he did, I would have done some different shit. But we still gonna rock this no matter what, right? That's right. We got any weirdos in the motherfucking house?
Ever since I was a kid, people said I'm different. Wonder if my life has been some crazy experiment. It's embarrassing the way some new experiences. Well, a part of being weird, they do not understand it yet. It seems like I'm the guy my neighbors wanna talk about. Yeah, these nosy bitches always got my name open their mouth. Tell me who you think you are, is you shining around? Yeah, while you're in my house, I promise you ain't coming out. Like this dirty, let your people make a good from you. You'll be locked up in my basement while I'm dirty, yeah. Ain't your parents teach you not to talk to strangers? Yes, they didn't, homie, now you in some danger. I play video games, I got it, they I'm 15 to get rid of you lames. I know they call you names, it's okay, cause when I end it won't be feeling the same. I know it. Don't say nothing, don't get me wrong. in the shoes in front of misfits, creeps, and of course my Juggalo. Stop my shine. Every day's been a different grind. Got paper always on my mind. Out here on these streets every day. Lost and still trying to find my way. Got 2 kids, so I got to get paid. Rolling with the mob, so I got to be made. Let me tell you, this thing's wicked in the day. And time is ticking. Ain't too many timeouts left, so I gotta play dirty. If I were to win this, then best believe before it's over, people's gonna get muddy. These streets are filthy, but that never stopped me from getting money.
Juggalos, for real, I love y'all. I came out here from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm not just performing. I'm gonna fucking be out marching on this motherfucker with you all. So if y'all see me, come fuck with me. Come holler at me. I'm out here for you all. I love y'all, Juggalos.
That was the shit. Alright, y'all, we got some more amazing speakers about to bless your ear holes and your craniums with hot slices of knowledge, fresh from the tap. First up is a man from one of my favorite, it used to be a publication, now it's a worldwide media conglomerate. Give it up for Mitchell Sunderland from Vice. And he's got some motherfucking things to say. What's up? Whoop whoop! Can I get a fuck that shit? Fuck that shit! 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 I am not a juggalo, but I have been covering you guys for 4 years now. When I began covering Juggalo culture 4 years ago, I did not think it would end at the Lincoln Memorial where Martin Luther King gave his speeches. But I am honored to speak before you today. Today is called the Juggalo March,
But it is about more than that. It's about free speech, which matters for everyone, whether they're a juggalo, whether they listen to Lady Gaga, whether they listen to anything. The Founding Fathers were not thinking about rapping clowns when they wrote the Constitution, but they did write the First Amendment, which gives all you the rights to say what you want, wear what you want, and sing whatever the fuck you want without the FBI's interference. At my first gathering, I saw lots of free speech. I saw the second most ratchet stripper in Orlando give lap dances to veterans. A juggalo showed me a video of an American flag being pulled out of his asshole. Years later, Shaggy ripped a Confederate flag to shreds while rapping Chicken Huntin' before it was cool to hate Confederate monuments. They were ahead of it. Whoop, whoop! Most of you have done all of this while wearing Hatchet Man necklaces and tattoos. This is like your Mickey Mouse. It's your logo. But law enforcement has perverted the Hatchet Man into a gang symbol. The FBI has labeled you a gang, which has allegedly caused authorities to pull juggalos over. Fuck that! Yeah, fuck that shit! 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 They've thrown gang charges alongside misdemeanors. They prevented some of you from joining the military. You're not even allowed to die for this country anymore if you're down with the clown. Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! Over the past few years, I've heard stories of divorce courts using a man's juggalo fandom to ban him from seeing his fucking children. I have heard stories of juggalos losing their jobs. Yesterday, a homeless juggalo told me that him and his sons were questioned at a fucking soup kitchen by the cops.
All right.
Fuck that shit! Some people, like other members of the media and non-juggalos, have mocked this march. They've said it's just clowns. They say they're white trash, but that is wrong, and fuck that too. The juggalo march has implications for everyone. Gay, straight, skinny, fat, black, white, juggalo, non-juggalo, whatever you like. And I want to thank you all today for defending everyone's right. What we're doing today is the only way to stop this FBI atrocity. And for that, I am down with the clown. Woo, woo! Thank you, Mitchell. Give it up for Mitchell Sunderland. Representing for Vice. That was the shit. How many juggalos are connected to the interwebs? How many juggalos?
Thank you so much, guys.
Scotty motherfucking D!
I'm truly overwhelmed, guys. Thank you so much for joining me as we peacefully protest our rights as music fans.
And loud as a mofo.
You guys are all doing
To
a
the
great
media,
job!
the onlookers, and the detractors, welcome. And the juggalos in attendance, woo! For those who don't know me, my name is Scott Donahue. In the juggalo world, I'm known as Scotty D.
Scotty D!
I've owned and operated one of the biggest juggalo-based websites for nearly the last 2 decades. I've taken a lot of time over the past few weeks to come up with what I'm about to say, so thank you for joining me as I try to convey our message. The American experiment has been an ever-changing has been an ever-changing acceptance of what is normal.
You fucked up! You fucked up! You fucked up! Dude, I love that I never know why they fucked up.
Alright. We stand at an unprecedented time in a place in our nation's history where acceptance of others is being taught to the next generation instead of intolerance. A time when hating people just because they look differently is no longer something we accept as normal. We are Juggalos, and that makes us different. Being a Juggalo is something that I'm extremely proud of. It means being who I am with the people I grew up with. Juggalos are my family, my friends, who we come in from every city and every state in our union. We accept everyone from everywhere who come in with an open mind, an open heart, or just want to hang out with the other people who don't fit in. It's a community spread far and wide based on the love of music that is somewhat crazy, sometimes over the top, and amazingly theatrical. We paint our faces, put our collective middle fingers in the sky, and scream, "I don't give a fuck." But in all honesty, we do give a fuck. We give so much of a fuck that some of us travel thousands of miles across the country to stand here in solidarity for being labeled as something that we're not, a gang. Before getting into the ridiculousness of this gang label and what harm it has caused to some upstanding and innocent people in our subculture, let me tell you about my first experience with Juggalos and what ultimately drew me into the scene. In the mid-1990s, I was a loner in junior high with just a few friends. I fit the typical suburban white kid mold, listening to alternative rock, completely naive about most hip-hop, especially this brand of it. It was in 1996 when I was handed an orange cassette tape that forever changed life as I knew it. It was NSYNC Bomb Posse's The Riddle Box, and I had never heard anything like it. This was quite literally a horror movie in music form. And while I enjoyed it for the shock factor, among other things, I wondered just what kind of people were attracted to this type of music. Fast forward a few years, and I finally worked up the nerve to go to my first ICP show. I had only ever been to some country music concerts that my mom dragged me to as a kid, and an all-rock show or two. But it was in downtown Dallas, Texas, one night on a mild winter night in 1999 that I had my first real experience with Juggalos. Hundreds were gathered outside the venue, many with their faces painted, some spraying Fago on each other. But most importantly, everyone was having a great time. In any other line that I've ever stood in, waiting was the worst part. For Juggalos, it seemed like it was just as fun as what was going to happen later on inside the venue. I love you guys so fucking much. As me and a couple of friends approached the line, we were warmly greeted in conversations of how many concerts we've been to, when we first heard about ICP, and general life experiences we're having. Keep in mind, these were completely strangers, and it was one of the most comfortable and accepted times that I've ever had at that point in my life. After that night, feeling the energy and passion surrounding the scene, there was no question in my mind that I was a Juggalo. In the past 20 years or so, I've made hundreds, no, thousands of friends. All the extremely close friends in my life, people that I consider family, I met through the Juggalo scene. We bend over backwards to help each other out. We help friends of each other just because any friend of theirs is a friend of ours. We trust each other with our lives. We as Juggalos are comprised of people from all spectrums of race, religion, class, and sexual orientation. And while we are not particularly political, most of us take strong stances against domestic abusers, racists, pedophiles, and rapists. These people, we do not judge based on their appearances, but rather by the foul nature of their actions. We are the people that you want on your side. So instead of focusing on how weird or outrageous Juggalos are, let's talk about some of the selfless things we're involved with. Homegrown Juggalo organizations like the Scrub Care Unit provide food, water, and shelter to those who come to events with nothing more than the clothing on their backs. The SCU is completely funded by donations from Juggalos. Psychopathic Records has hosted events where entry fees and actual premium canned goods such as ravioli.
No lima beans,
not
bitch.
some stale-ass cream corn, right. I regularly see Juggalos organize events, charity events for deserving causes or individuals just because they've suffered a traumatic event, lost their job, or whatever the case may be. We have such a strong bond with each other that even when we see someone else hurting, we are eager to do anything we can to help. This, among other things, is yet another reason that I'm proud to be a Juggalo. No matter what our differences are, when we see suffering and strife, we all unite as one. So, why are we here? Why are we marching? Does my experience with Juggalos sound like that of a gang? What exactly is happening to Juggalos across the nation? For the uninformed, Juggalos are fans of horror-inspired artists such as the Insane Clown Posse were labeled as a loosely organized hybrid gang in 2011. Whether that sounds serious to you or not, it has had some devastating effects on those that I consider family. Juggalos, you've heard the stories. People losing their jobs, being denied entry into the military, and stripped of the custody of their children. All because the FBI has falsely labeled a particular type of music. So, to answer my previous question, we are here to break this gang label. No American should have their rights and liberties infringed upon due to their personal taste in music. If we stand down and say that it's okay to criminalize our fan base, where does it end? Whose fan base is next? It's a slippery slope, and not only do we need the federal government to retract this, but we need to stay on top of it to make sure nothing like this ever happens again. We, as Juggalos, realize that in the grand scheme of things in America right now, this is a small problem. But when systemic law enforcement errors affect hundreds of thousands of people, and we have to start somewhere. Winning the small battle here could change the course of the future for thousands of lives all over the country. We stand up for ourselves today, but this is not just a Juggalo problem. When any American has a right reduced or restricted, it should become a rallying beacon for all of us to stand as one. While most do not understand the Juggalo culture, everyone in this nation should stand up to see our liberty restored. I want to thank Psychopathic for giving me this platform to speak, my good friend Jared who helped me organize my thoughts, to my blood family and close friends who have supported me through thick and thin, and to the Juggalos I've considered family for over half my life. It should not be a crime to say that I'm a Juggalo. So let's band together and do something about it, and make sure that this mischaracterization ends here today. When laws are broken, Juggalos, like anyone else, should be accountable by good police work and judicial due process. That is the American system. The FBI's blanketing gang label holds us all accountable for the behavior of a few. So for our friends, our families, and our love of music, please stand with us as we fight this injustice as one nation. Juggalos, I fucking love you.
Give it up for Scotty D from BagelLovers.net. Juggalos, it's an honor to introduce our next speaker, because without the support of this organization, I don't think the fight of the FBI against the FBI would have gone as far as it's gone. Every step of the way, the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, has been in the fight alongside Psychopathic Records and the Juggle Lawyer to fight this bullshit that we're fighting today. So please, give a fucking family welcome to Selena Ramos from the ACLU, motherfucker. Let me rephrase that. Everything I said about the ACLU is true, but allow me to rephrase that introduction. The following speaker is an incredible community organizer with many incredible affiliations. It's my pleasure and yours to welcome Selena Ramos to the stage. Show her some love, Juggalos. Woo-hoo!
Well, if y'all didn't hear, this guy just said I'm sexy as fuck. So I want to clarify. I am from Milwaukee. My name is Selena Patterson-Ramos. I am from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I'm a community organizer. I am currently not representing any organization that I am part of, and I am part of many. I want to make sure that that's perfectly clear, because I'm here as a juggalo, and that is all. Yo! Black juggalos matter? Yeah! Okay. I've been a juggalo for 10 years. I'm a community 10 years, over 10 years. I'm a community organizer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I have dedicated my life to fighting oppression in all its forms and educating people about them. Right now, I'm thinking about the last few months, how I have been educating many people on this issue, wherever I go. I would use the Beyonce fan base, the Beehive, as an example. And people would all say that there's no way something like this would get this far if it was the Beehive. And I am a Beehiver as well.
Oh shit. That could be double jeopardy under the eyes of the law.
Oh, I'm so weird. I'm getting into it. I could be classified as something, many different things. Why I'm here? I am part of many organizations, groups, and identities, but I'm always a misfit in some way, shape, or form. The juggalos that I've met over the years are some of the only people who have accepted me for all of me and all my randomness. That's why I'm here, and that is why I'm a juggalo.
I heard you.
and there's a lot more that makes me me. I'm a black Puerto Rican pansexual that is involved in my community in many different ways. I'm in multiple leadership positions in my city. I'm a haunted house actor. I'm a cosplayer. I'm a sci-fi geek, a Marvel geek, Star Trek, Star Wars, name it. I play Pokemon. I haven't gotten to Zelda yet, I'm sorry. And I've also ran for office. I'm involved, I vote, I do everything I can to make a difference in my world. And I don't hide this from any space I'm in. I'm going to tell you right now how I'm involved, and I'm going to tell them that I'm a juggalo. I had to. And juggalos accept me for all I am. But many of them can't move freely in this country. The way that they... I'm sorry, I'm listening to everybody. I had listened to everyone, so it's just like, y'all are saying awesome comments and I can't help but smile. But many of them can't move, many of my friends can't move freely in this country the way they want because of the uneducated gang label. When I travel in the United States, if I see a fellow juggalo, I greet them with a whoop whoop, and I ask them how they're being treated where they're from. And I've heard many types of stories, many ridiculous things, like not being able to put on the shirt you just bought from Hot Topic in the mall. And of course, there's many more stories that are more horrible than that. People's kids getting taken away, being pulled over all the time. I think this is awesome that we are trying to fight against police harassment. America has a history of criminalizing underrepresented groups based on bad research, stereotypes, and bias. The Juggalo gang designation on the state and federal level is no different. The only research I seem to find is the FBI asking other law enforcement agencies, not a gang expert, or talking to a diverse amount of juggalos. They use stereotypes and bias, and they just talk to people who had no clue what the hell we about. Too many people are caught up in bad gang laws and policy. There needs research non-culturally biased universal game definitions so that no more lives are destroyed. People get paid by law enforcement agencies across the country to put on workshops to train people in knowing what a juggalo is, and they can just ask us.
Can I get a shot of you guys' signs?
I find,
I love it.
I think that this is just completely ridiculous. I think that this shouldn't have happened, this shouldn't have gone this far, that this shouldn't it's just affecting way too many people. There's just, I'm getting emotional just thinking about my friends and stuff that has being messed with. They go to other cities, it's not as bad in Milwaukee, I will tell you that. But too many people, when they get little crimes, they have to register as a gang. They have been persecuted in many different ways they did not expect. And I just think it really needs to come to an end. People need to research what different groups are about. They need to not try to pigeonhole people into a certain kind of category and try to demonize them when they don't know what the hell they're about. Come ask me. I'm an educator. Come ask me what juggalos are about. Come ask me what Black Lives Matter is about. Come ask me what Black Juggalos is about. Come ask me about Puerto Ricans. Come ask me about geeks. I don't give a crap. I'm an educator. You can find me on Facebook and you can inbox me. And you can make sure that you are not ignorant. If you have a smartphone, you have access to internet, you have no excuse for your ignorance.
Hell yeah!
I gotta say, I just love y'all right now. I love everybody up here. I love everybody's comments. I love everybody's look. I'm just loving everybody. So again, woo woo! We are able to go anywhere and everywhere the way we want to. As I close, again, love you. Let me know where the parties are tonight. Y'all can find me on Facebook. And Twitter. Twitter's probably a little better right now. I'm going to say that. Actually, I was going to wrap up, but I'm going to say this. The reason why I don't say all juggalos matter like that is because that's co-opting another revolution, another project. You're going to need a workshop. So anybody wants to know why I don't do that, please contact me. Please get a hold of me, because there's a difference in this. We are all in trying to free the world, and we're all trying to make the world a better place, and I don't think that we should co-op each other's rallies and stuff like that, or co-op each other's revolutions like that. We should understand each other and be there for each other. So, get involved. Get involved. Vote. Get the DAs out. The DAs are the ones that are putting criminal charges on people. Find out if they don't support juggalos and they don't support if they don't support. Can you please be quiet for 2 seconds, ma'am? Thank you. If the DA doesn't support, yeah, please, thank you.
Let the speaker speak and have a lozenge.
Yo, meet me out in the back. Not like that. We just gonna talk.
Okay, all right. Outside. How about that?
But anyway, this is the point. If vote, get involved. If people are not supporting the fact that people should be treated equally when it comes to sentencing in our judicial system, then vote them out. If they are criminalizing juggalos, vote them out. If they don't understand what's going on with juggalos, vote them out. If they don't understand other issues, vote them out. Get involved. Thank you.
Vote them out.
Vote them out. Vote them out.
And my last line from Martin Luther King, because I am here and I have to say this. From a quote from Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We must fight, and that's the end of his quote. We must fight to make sure that we are all happy in this country, in the world. Thank you.
That was Off the Hook. Give some Juggalo love to community organizer Patterson-Ramos. That was the shit. Juggalos, you ready for some more knowledge? We got mad knowledge to drop. We got musical guests. And I don't know if you heard about it, but there's a motherfucking march going on pretty soon. Whoop, whoop. Next up is a very gifted writer. She writes for publications and websites all over the fucking planet, many of which you've heard, none of which I'll fucking mention. But please show some love all the way from Brooklyn, New York. This is Camille Dodero. Come on up, Camille.
Hey. So, I'm a writer and a journalist and a human. And most people wouldn't expect a song called Santa's a Fat Bitch to be a deft critique of class identity. But then you haven't spent much time with journalists. I mean, with juggalos, shit. But I have spent a lot of time with juggalos. And you guys are juggalos, so you've spent a lot of time with juggalos. I've been to 6 gatherings, I've been to tons of juggalo shows, I've talked to you at length with more juggalos than I can possibly remember. And so a few years ago, I was lucky enough to be in Hawaii visiting a friend, and I had a few additional days to kill. So I contacted Scotty D of Fago Lovers to see if he knew any juggalos in Hawaii. And Scotty D puts up a post saying there's a writer in Hawaii looking for juggalos, and soon after, this kid named Josh writes me. And he tells me he's had bad experience with reporters, but he and his wife are willing to meet up and see how it goes, and maybe if I'm interested, he'll take me on a bomb-ass hike. So we make a plan, and the next day, I'm getting on the plane to Maui, and I realize that I'm going to an island where I've never been, where I know no one, where I've committed to go hiking with strangers that I met through the internet, entirely on the basis that they identify deeply with fictional, scary clown serial killers. And, you know, that sounds bad to most people. But most people haven't spent a lot of time with juggalos. So I went anyway. And I met up with this couple, and his name Josh and Bree, and Josh picks me up at a hotel, and he's smart and funny and tough. Driving around, he starts telling me his stories. And, you know, he's had a pretty horrible life, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. You know, he was poor, like from Illinois, would eat for days poor. His father was a terrible alcoholic, and he had just been through these really, really terrible things that, like, I don't even feel comfortable sharing in this environment. Like, and I bet a lot of you can relate to that. You know, and for a while, Josh was homeless, and his situation with his father got so bad, just to graduate high school, he had to live out of his car so he could stay in the district. And one of the things he was telling me about being a juggalo is that, like, he's like, I remember in middle school thinking, like, there has to be something in life that doesn't suck. Like, so I tried different music, you know, like Korn or Slipknot, and they'd sing about their anger and exclusion. But then I'd hang out with these kids, and they'd put other people down to feel on top the minute they got, like, an opportunity. And they were the same pieces of garbage hypocrite as everybody else. So when Josh found ICP and went to his first gathering, it wasn't like that at all. And he was like, oh my God, these people are exactly how I thought they were going to be. And nobody here is disappointing. And he knew that he found a kind of home. And, you know, I spent 3 days with Josh and his wife, Bree, and, you know, they were amazing, and we went hiking. We did go hiking. We jumped off a cliff and talked for hours and hours. And another thing that they told me is that, you know, even if Shaggy and Jay disappear tomorrow, we're still here. Just like you guys are all still here. And what they meant is not we're a gang. What they meant that is even if they didn't have ICP as like an active figurehead, they'd still be there. You know, a homeless high school student would still be there. The child predator victim full of rage, like, you're still there. The southern white kid trapped among racist rednecks, like, he's still there. You know, the kids with the house that even Santa Claus wouldn't visit, like, they're still there. And, you know, to me, that's what Santa is a fat bitch is about. It's about being so poor that even Santa won't come to your neighborhood. It's about turning on the television and seeing jolly old Saint Nick lead a parade and, like, getting excited that maybe he'll come by this year. And, you know, then you wake up on Christmas morning and all that's on the floor, like, your alcoholic dad's boxers. And it's like, wow, like, even Santa doesn't have time for me. And songs like this from Insane Clown Posse, like, hilarious, foul-mouthed, amazing, they're bat signals for kids like Josh and you to find each other. And so after we hung out, Josh sent me an ICP song most of you I'm sure know, from a Wraith-era sampler that I hadn't heard, called Simple and Blunt. And there are a couple lines that just stick with me, and he sent it to me because he's like, this is the best explanation I can find that explains. And the lines that stick with me are when Violent J is talking about Juggalos and the community that's sprung up, and he says, you know, it ain't a fan base, it's like a family drawn together like we're from outer space. We call ourselves Juggalos, but I guess I'd explain it. We relate because we share the same kinds of pain. And so, to simplify Juggaloism to its most viscerally emotional form, Juggalos are the nation's most spectacularly fun therapy group. You know, and when you can't afford therapy unless it's court-ordered, like, your Juggalo homies are an actual lifesaver. And so then, when a governmental organization looks at you and your homies, it can't understand it because there's no obvious analog. It's like, well, why are all these people who are born into really bad situations that we as a nation refuse to fix, like, why are they hanging out together? Like, why aren't they ashamed of who they are? Why are they wearing the same Hatchet Man symbol that's a family crest? Like, that must be a gang. But if Juggalos are a gang, then why aren't individual fraternities gangs? They wear the same Greek-lettered symbols. They have a history of rowdiness and drugs and assault. They say they belong to a brotherhood, which is like a family without moms and sisters and nieces, which sounds to me like a really bad family. But what's the difference between those groups and Juggalos? Well, to me, and based on my experience as a journalist and a human and a writer, the difference between those kids is that the difference with those kids is that those kids' parents have money, and that's the difference. And most Juggalos I know, they don't have parents with money. Like, sometimes they don't even have parents. And sometimes they're fighting with the parents they never had. You know, like Josh. I was texting with him yesterday. He's now 32. He's remarried. He has a young son, and his wife has this amazing job. So he quit so he can be a stay-at-home dad. And honestly, if he had not found ICP Juggalos, that would not be the way his story went. And like, that's why I, as a writer and reporter, and keep meeting and writing Juggalos is to, like, amplify the stories of people like you and kids like Josh, because, like, based on my experiences as a journalist and a writer and a human, if most people had his life or your life, they'd have turned out a lot differently. You know, and it's like a wise man named Violent J once said, but with a curse word I can't use. I got a mom. All
when I was on the plane to Washington, D.C., I finished up the last few chapters of an incredible fucking book. How many of y'all have read the book Juggalo?
How much are the shirts?
That book features a cover photograph by our friend Hazen, incredible photo of Shaggy Tunes. Well, right now, we got the author of Juggalo, the iconic writer who's written so many badass books about music. This guy's got a black belt in music.
Yeah.
Give it up for Steve Miller!
Hey y'all, looks like revolution out there. Thank you very much.
Where's the past dude?
Well, listen, it's always a pleasure. Anytime I can do anything on behalf of the Juggalos, it's always been my honor. That book, Juggalo, did well thanks to you guys, and I appreciate it. And again, it's my honor to be here. When I first found out, I covered real gangs in my life. I'm a journalist. I covered real gangs, MS-13, Bloods, Crips, shit like that. When I got the report in 2011, the FBI gang threat assessment report, Juggalos were in it, my first thought was, of course, like a whole lot of you was, what the fuck? And, and I looked at this and I thought, well, there's something obviously just terribly wrong. No, they're there all the time. They aren't watching us. But smile, they may be taking a picture. Anyway, there was something wrong with this. So, of course, I started thinking, maybe it's worth a book. Maybe it's worth finding out, exactly what's wrong. Why would a spirited, independent bunch of music fans, Juggalos, be a gang in the eyes of law enforcement? That made no sense to me. So I started following up and I started researching, and I realized something. It's all about the money. You guys, nobody could make money off you guys. No corporate entity could make money off you. Nobody could exploit you guys. Nobody could do anything with you until law enforcement figured out that they could get some sweet gang fighting cash by making you guys a target. They said, well, nobody's going to fight. They're going to fight back. How can they fight back? They're Juggalos, right? Bullshit is right. They learn different. All right, so I started working on that, and I talked to all kinds of people. I talked to cops. I talked to, of course, you guys went to a couple gatherings, went to some shows. It was awesome. It was a great experience. Y'all were nice. Everybody was cool, and you truly treated everybody. Everything everybody said that was good about you guys was absolutely accurate. Everything everybody said was bad was inaccurate, which was striking me like, what's going on here? So, at any rate, what I found was a group that really actually embodied freedom. You're bonded by music, which is one of the great arts that we have as a species. That's what you were bonded by, and you were brought together by this. And what a great idea. But at the same time, these cops were making money off you guys. They were having seminars in communities talking about how evil Juggalos were, what threat Juggalos were, how they were gang members and they were crime-ridden, and this was this and that. And I talked to them. They paid taxpayer money to do these seminars to exploit the Juggalos. And all the law enforcement made money. There's millions of dollars in grants that go to law enforcement agencies. That's how you ended up on the gang threat assessment list. All right. It's because, and part of it was because people hate freedom, man. I mean, they hate to see freedom. There's two ways you can go in life. You can go to freedom or you can go to security. You guys, a lot of y'all took freedom, and that's really probably the favored route. They couldn't put you guys in a tidy little box. They couldn't make millions off you. They couldn't tell you what to do. No amount of, and so it was just no way to handle you guys, and that's what troubled law enforcement. That's how you ended up here. That's why we ended up here. It's scary, scary. The unknown is scary, too. Cops are, let's face it, cops aren't all bad. We all went to the gatherings in Ohio. Those cops were cool, right? All right. Then we went to the gathering in Oklahoma. Cops, not too cool, right? Right. So, I mean, we can't, not all cops. Let's not all put them in the same, in the same box. The gang list, though, was a response to freedom. And that's people don't like things that are unbridled. So here we are in the National Mall. This is a place that stands for freedom. This Capitol was founded, the whole place was founded on the basis of a marketplace of ideas. And your ideas are just as valid as everybody else's. You know, you want to have your own, you have your own subculture, probably, I mean, for fuck's sake, this could be the last American subculture. Let's hope not, but you do it right, so it doesn't matter. If it is, that's fine. But again, marketplace of ideas. Some ideas are unpopular, that's okay. You got to have tolerance for them, you know. Some of them are aberrant. You still have to have tolerance for them. But right now, I'm going to guess the Founding Fathers would certainly smile at the killer diversity of interest and the culture that you guys bring here today. You were never a gang, ever. We can trust the government to get it wrong, way wrong, and they continue to do that today. This is a good side of America. The misfits, the outsiders that are happy to be that way, that defy description, but always stand up for family. That you guys exist is somewhat of a miracle, given today's oppressive culture. But maybe it's the last, again, maybe it is the last true subculture. At least in music it is, and it's a blessing. Be strong, you guys. Keep your creative space in the world. God bless and peace out.
Whoop, whoop. Give it up for Steve Miller! And be sure to check out the book Juggalo. That book will blow your fucking mind. It's incredible. Unprecedented access and insight into the Juggalo world. I talked earlier in my opening speech about Juggalos work in all fields. They're part of all industries and professions. And the following man I'm about to introduce to you, this motherfucker is like the ultimate warrior of lawyers. This guy fires up and lays the fucking legal smackdown on anybody and everybody that tries to fuck with our family. So please give a warm Juggalo welcome to the motherfucking Juggle lawyer, Ferris Hutton!
Family!
Family!
What's up, fam? It's your faithful attorney at law here. So we're in D.C. You know, this is where they originally published that gang list. The Dark Carnival came to their front door. We're not so scary, right? We're not so scary. But we just got some questions and we want some answers. You know, but first off, what kind of criminal gang sues people? Can you just riddle me that? What kind of gang does charity food drives? But seriously, my question is, if the government labeled punk rockers a criminal gang, how many people would be out in the streets protesting along with them? If the FBI decided to put Grateful Dead heads on the criminal gang list, how fast would they have to change that shit and apologize? If hippies were now criminally profiled and legally considered a street gang, no one would stand for that nonsense. Yo, if the KISS Army were all of a sudden listed as a security threat by the FBI, how embarrassed would the government be by that? You know the Believers fucking sent death threats to anybody who insults Justin Bieber, like Selena Gomez has to dodge that shit. Maybe they'll be next on the gang list, maybe he's a gang leader. But I mean, you know, it could be anybody, man. Emo kids, hipsters, Fish fans, Hulkamaniacs, brother. Dude, if any of these more well-known groups were put on the list, the FBI would be the laughingstock of the entire fucking planet. You know what else? I guarantee that
that the courts wouldn't take over 5 years and 2 appeals just to decide if there's anything we can even do to fix it. Fuck that. We all know what would happen. We all know, you know, Americans would unite, they'd condemn all this ludicrous blacklisting of an entire group of music fans and friends and family. You know, we're talking about freaking music here. If this is allowed to stand, and so far it has been, then we definitely don't live in a free society anymore. You know, it's so out of whack, I can't even believe that we still have to stand here and argue about this in 2017. You know, when is anyone in Washington going to listen to us? You know that right now, that's right, motherfuckers, right now. We'll march again if we have to. Yo, the federal court in Detroit actually tried to dismiss our case twice now, saying basically that the FBI did nothing legally wrong by gang listing thousands of normal, everyday Americans. And that, get this, that the court said that the FBI is entitled to their opinion, and you shouldn't be able to sue them for that, for what they said about us. That's what we said. We said, fuck that shit, and we appealed that shit. So who's next? I mean, that's what America needs to understand, you know, who's next to be blacklisted for no good reason? Who's next? It's like that famous, you know, it's like that famous Nazi poem, today they came for the Juggalos and I was quiet because I'm not a Juggalo. No big deal, right, America? I mean, it's only Juggalos, but who are they coming for next? That's what people don't realize. So now we have college graduates, and you heard from them, who can't get a job because of the music they listen to. We got Child Protective Services telling people they can't see their own kids because they have ICP posters in their house. We got veterans, people who want to serve our country, and people who already attempted to make the ultimate sacrifice, being told to fuck the fuck off by the U.S. Army. We got Americans who can't walk down the street, let alone drive, without getting harassed by the police and thrown in gang segregation. I mean, is this America or is this the Soviet Union? We're living under a dictatorship or the world's freest democracy? Yo, we don't know anymore. Well, you guys know the deal. It's us. It's Juggalos. We always said we didn't count. Little did we know how true that really was, right? They're proving it every day that this is allowed to stand. They're proving that we don't matter to anybody. So when will people care? Well, we're doing the only civilized things we can do as Americans. We're protesting. We're marching. Yo, we're here in Washington, D.C. for the FBI to see us up close and personal. This isn't communist Russia. If one American suffers, that's too much. Let alone thousands of Americans for years and years. Stop dragging this out, FBI. Do the right thing. We're only asking you to correct the records.
It seems like a reasonable fucking request.
I mean, it's easy. We should have sued them for money or something. Put some pressure on these motherfuckers. Should I add that to the lawsuit? Class action for everybody?
And we could use the money for air conditioning outside at the next gathering.
Yes. Yo, while we're here, I want to ask the FBI one more thing. A serious question. What kind of gang has every single one of their events open to the general public? Think about that for a second. Yo, FBI, you can actually come to the concert tonight. You could come to the fucking nightclub after party tonight. You can buy a ticket and do some undercover investigating. Please investigate. We beg you.
And please investigate deeply at the merch table.
Come to the gathering of the Juggalos. You know, you can afford a ticket if the Juggalos can afford it. But hey, we'll be happy to buy you fucking tickets. We're begging you to investigate us and just realize your goddamn mistake. Man up. Just man up. And fix the record. Admit you made a mistake and clear our name. That's what we're here for. We're here to clear our name. We came all the way to you. We came all the way to DC. So hear us out, FBI. Hear us out, America. You know, I mean, you know, just to give you my normal legal update like I always do, we just got a new court date. So we finally got a new court date. It's October 11th in Cincinnati at the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals. That's one level under the U.S. Supreme Court right here in D.C. So we might be back here sooner than we thought. But hey, I encourage you to come out and show your support in Cincinnati on October 11th.
Oh my God.
You know, real quick, I'd like to thank my co-counsel Howard Hertz of Hertz and Schramm, the amazing lawyers fighting pro bono on your behalf every day of the ACLU of Michigan, and Michigan's largest law firm, Miller Canfield, Emily Palacios. You have no idea the type of blessing that all of these people have been to our case, guys. So just give them a big whoop whoop for me. Yeah, I'd like to send a shout out to my newborn son, Jace. Yo, he was actually due yesterday. He came 2 weeks early so I could make it to the march. That's how cool he is. My beautiful wife, Rima, at home taking care of my baby boy. I love you guys. You know, of course, I'd like to shout out all the Juggalos that actually made it out here to represent us. You didn't sit idly by and watch other people suffer. You know, we gotta give a shout out to all the Juggalos that tried to make it and just couldn't. Much clown love. Who's ready to march? When I say stop, you say whoop whoop. Stop! 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 I love you, Juggalos.
Give it up for the Juggalo, Ferris Hot Dog. Whoop whoop. The name of the game is keeping it moving. And right about now, we're going to bring up a very special guest to speak to y'all. You know him, you love him, despite the fact that he is a creep ass. So show some love for Keegan, the motherfucking creep ass.
See, I'm gonna hold it. How's everyone doing? We made it. They didn't take us serious, but I think the message is loud and clear. Huh? How you guys back there doing? It's going back all the way to the fucking memorial. This is awesome, man. Hello to all my Juggalos. I know so many of you out there. To all the media outlets that are covering this live and giving us a fair shake, honestly, thank you. Thank you. Please show some love to that, okay? That's all we ask for, man. We invite any and everybody, and you're gonna find that out. So like KG said, my name is Keegan Alt, the Creep Ass of Comedy. I'm a comedian, a Christian, and of course a Juggalo. Okay? I first got involved and fell in love with this scene when I was 9 years old in 1999. Little small tot. See, I grew up in a lower middle class family. I may not have had much growing up, but I was always taught to treat others with respect and to always help others when necessary. Growing up borderline poor and a Juggalo isn't easy. I can tell you from first-hand experience. I've had my fair share of dirty looks, bullies, you name it. Society hasn't always been kind to juggalos, and I'm not really sure why. See, when I was able to attend my first ICP concert, I wasn't ready for what was about to happen. Sure, I love the music, but meeting other juggalos, that was such a huge moment for me. No one ever cared how I dressed, how I looked, how big my titties were. Okay? Or about them.
And at times, they've been pretty fucking big.
They are getting bigger, actually. KG, thanks for pointing that out. Psychopathic gave me a nice 2X instead of a 3X. I'm on national team. No way.
Show your tits on TV.
Oh, no, what?
You
all right.
do it.
Where's NBC at? Where's CNN at?
Do it for Vice.
Those are juggalo titties. This is not where I thought my speech was going today. I fucking did this a bunch in my head. That is the last thing I thought I was going to do. Okay. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. All right. But in all seriousness, the reoccurring theme in this country as a whole to me is to fear what you don't understand. Okay? And I think that's where all this stems from. Society sees some people dressed up as clowns, listening to profane music, and spraying each other with pop. We like to do that shit. I don't know why, but we do it. It doesn't make sense, and that's okay. All right? And they see all that and they assume the worst. I get it. Okay? We aren't perfect by any means. I'm sure as hell not. Exactly. Who the hell is? But it's not fair to lump the actions of a small group of people, of juggalos in our community, and treat us as a whole. Okay? Show me a few thousand cops, a few thousand priests, even some politicians here in D.C., and I'll show you a few bad apples. Okay? So you want to play that game, we can do that. No group of people is completely perfect, and if you spend your time looking for the bad while ignoring the good, well, then of course your outlook's going to be negative. That's fucking common sense. Okay? But how about all the positive from our community? I'm going to start with Psychopathic has hosted many events, concerts, and helped numerous charities. From helping the homeless by performing shows where the price of admission was a few cans of food, as you heard earlier today, or how they have auctioned off many of their personal own items just to give back to charities helping people with diseases, abused women, even animal shelters. In 2014, ICP and Psychopathic Records had headlined a benefit show for Aaron Spencer, a juggalo who passed away. Personally, raising money for his family, who was in a very hard and difficult time in their life. A fan. Not many artists do that for their fans, okay? There's no love like this, man. There really isn't. There isn't. Look at where we're at right now. Look at who's around you. Stop. Look at one another. For real. Make some. Let them hear it. There's a helicopter coming that way. Let that motherfucker hear what we're all about. Family. Love it. Y'all do my job. I love it. I love it. And a lot of these charities are not juggalo related, but just rather to help the average citizen. Chances are these people don't even know who juggalos are, but that's another beautiful part about being a juggalo. We help one another. We don't give a fuck what you think about it, man. And I know that's weird to say it like that, but that's just how we do things. All right? See, if you look behind the paint, if you look behind the clothes, the lyrics, the message has always been love. It's always been... There we go. You take care of one another, no matter your race, your age, your gender, or religion. We know we're the outcast. Okay, we know we're different. You don't need to remind us. And fuck it, we kind of like it anyway, so... But what we do need you to know is that despite what you have heard, despite what the media, society, and the fucking FBI has said, we're fucking awesome! They're just jealous. They hate us because they hate us, bitch! Yeah, look at that. Look at all these smiling faces. I fucking love it. That's why we're here. I say, I'm just going to throw this out to Psychopathic. I say we gather in Washington, D.C. this year. We'll gather in this motherfucker. We'll turn that into leg hepatitis. They don't even know what that means. But you guys know what that means. All right. I'm proud to be a part of the psychopathic family. I'm proud of what we represent, what we are, and everything we will be. So today we are speaking up for all of you that don't know us, to fans of rap, rock and roll, country, and any other fucking form of media you can think of, and entertainment. This could happen to you. And unless we stand up and unite together, it's going to keep happening. All right? So you better learn to get along with us and love us like we want to love you, because we fucking ain't going anywhere. Today we are all juggalos. We are all First Amendment warriors. We are all one. Thank you so much. Give DC a motherfucking loud whoop whoop.
Show some love for Keegan All. He's a creep ass